Hey everyone, this is Brent Brooks, co-founder of Abba Apparel. My 10-year-old son Caleb Brooks is my partner. Been amazing starting up the company Abba Apparel together, and a lot of fun. There is no doubt about that. I'm going to share another portion of the journey leading up to Abba Apparel even being a vision and then becoming a reality. It was around 8 months ago. I was awakened out of my sleep. Probably it was somewhere around 3 o'clock in the morning, and I sat up in the bed, and I remember just looking back at the pillow and just wanting to dive back in that thing, and just felt like I was up for a reason. Even felt like maybe the Lord woke me up. And so I went downstairs and I went to the office and I sat in the chair there, and I felt in my heart that I needed to go grab my journals out of the bookshelf. And I hadn't opened these journals in a very long time. These journals were they were used by me when over 17, 18 years ago. And so I grabbed them and I came back over to the chair and sat down. And when I opened up the first one and began to thumb through it, I came across the pages of different things that Daddy God had showed me He wanted me to do. One of them is a youth was at the time was what I thought was a youth center for teenagers. The other one was to write a book about my life, about my testimony and what Jesus has done in my life. And then the other thing was to just really go out and speak to youth. And either which way, those two things were things that I was supposed to have done, and life just gets in the way, and there's no excuse for it. It just things happened, and I'd like to think of it as I wasn't ready or prepared or able to do those things, and those were just the beginning. Basically the beginning stamps of a vision God was giving me. Anyway, when He woke me up that night, it really sparked, it brought that spark back to me, that passion back to me by reminding me. And the next morning I immediately got on trying to figure out how to write a book, because of course I'm definitely never wrote a book or been an author or anything like that. And the other thing was the youth center. And so I started looking into and praying about what it is exactly God wanted me to do. This is where Harvest House, it's a nonprofit program for troubled teenage boys, was envisioned as He continued these last couple months of giving me more and more detail. Teenage boys that are incarcerated in the Department of Juvenile Justice here in South Carolina. Harvest House, or the abbreviation for it that we like to call HH5, is going to be a house, not a facility, but a house where 5 to 7 teenage boys come out when they're released from the juvenile prison, and they come straight into this program. And it's a 5-month program that we just really pour into these boys and establish them in the grace of God through Jesus Christ, and build them up spiritually and practically. And then I think one of the most important keys is going to be connecting them to and plugging them into a local body or a local community of faith back in their hometown. And we're going to do that before they ever finish our program. And so that way, when they transition back to their homes or back to the communities that they always grew up in, and even the communities they got in trouble in, they have a surrounding support system, and they have friends already established there to walk in their new life and to have victory in their lives and be successful. So those are the two things that came up with that. But from these two things, and from the several things that the Lord has been teaching me the last year and a half, that is where Abba Apparel even kind of like streamed from. So, and in another video, I will share some of the things that the Lord has been teaching me personally, teaching me about the church, and teaching me about His Son Jesus. You guys have a great one. Catch up with you next time.